Okay, we're rolling out of Bonner's Ferry, headed out to the start of the Idaho BDR. This is actually the afternoon of our supposed rest day, but some of the guys didn't want to backtrack back to the Canadian border and ride the first 40 miles of it or so. But some of us did. So there's 4 of us headed out today. We're going to ride up to the Canadian border on asphalt and then ride roughly, I think, 45 miles on the Idaho BDR, head back to the hotel tonight, and then we'll pick it up in that same spot tomorrow. This is U.S. Customs. Canadian Customs, as you can see, is 500 feet away. So we're at the border, and we're going to turn around somewhere and get on the BDR. Turns out that, again, that's Customs, and the start of the BDR is right here. So we're in the town or community of Port Hill, or maybe this is the hill at the port. Who knows? Welcome to Jake's Landing. I have no clue what that river or lake or whatever that is. There's what is that? Maybe it's grapes or something? Hard to tell. Same thing on that side. I'm gonna let John's in front, Jim's behind. We'll let him get a little bit ahead so that dust will settle down. A little bit of a wind today. Okay, we're going, that's the first car we've seen. We're going through a wooded area, some twisties, and like I said on an earlier video, as soon as I turn this thing on, the twisties go away, but there were some pretty good ones back there. Pretty tight, tree lined. Looks like we're back in the dirt, so that's good. So I'll back off from John a little bit and let this dust settle. Alright, so we're riding along this kind of low level ridge here. Got some water in this little valley. Different scenery, all green instead of the browns that we've been seeing in the more arid areas. So I think this is probably just all irrigation, but this is northern Idaho. Well, we're still on asphalt, or I guess we came back to asphalt. Pretty area. It's alternating between asphalt and gravel. Looking for a alternate trail that gets us back onto the gravel right now. There's Smokey the Bear. By the way, it's if you can see on my instrument cluster, it's 65 degrees this morning. We took off about an hour and a half later than we have been doing, so we were getting up at 6 o'clock. I mean, leaving at 6 o'clock last week on the Washington because of the heat. This is supposed to be the last hot day, and it's not supposed to be quite as hot as what we've been seeing. and they're supposed to cool off, you know, maybe as much as 15 or 20 degrees from what we saw last week. So I think because we're taking one section at a time, and because the temperatures are down, we're probably going to be leaving hour and a half later than we were last week. So we've gotten onto the off-road section. This is about where we left off yesterday. In fact, I think we passed this section. There's supposed to be some alternate routes down here, some harder than others. It's very dusty, and we've seen several cars, so you can tell this road's, you know, fairly well maintained, and so I think vehicles use it fairly often. Again, it's 66 degrees. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a nice day, except for the dust, I think. Already come up on some views. Looks like we've climbed a fair amount already. You can see the valley plain down below us. We're trying to spread out because of the dust, but like I said, it's pretty dusty. But these roads pretty easy. I mean, the gravel's loose enough that you don't want to try to go around this corner too fast, because probably going to lose it. Alright, so already seeing some difference in the terrain. If you look at those mountains over there, they're all tree covered. This mountain obviously is full of trees. What we saw in Washington was a lot, you know, drier, more arid, not that many trees. And so you know, I don't know that the whole all of Idaho is going to be this way, but it's obviously more green than what we saw in Washington. Looking mountain right above us, got a big rock face there, you can see. It's pretty neat. Gotta look where I'm going, because there was a huge hole in the road back there. I don't know if you saw it or not, but anyway, haven't seen a side of a mountain like that on this trip so far. A lot greener in this section. If you wanted big Christmas trees, this would be the place to come. It smells great. Just like I said before, just like going to pick out your Christmas tree. $69 degrees now. Couldn't ask for much better. Alright, so we're heading up an alternate route that's supposedly an expert section. Don't know exactly what expert means, so we're gonna see what it's all about. If it's that tough, then we'll just turn around. This is probably what they're calling. It's probably what they're calling the expert section. It's rocky. It's a descent. At least for me, descending this stuff is easier than climbing it. Got a nice view over there. Pretty dusty. Look at the sand up there. Wow. And so there's some sand here too. One thing I have noticed about today, the visibility's been better. Maybe because we're staying a little further apart, although it's really dusty. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is really rocky. So that's why they're calling it expert. Fortunately, it's downhill. So again, that's easier for me. You're trying to climb this stuff, you're trying to get traction too. You can hear me breathing hard, obviously. When you're going downhill, you don't have to worry about the traction. I'm opening my vent up because, or my screen up, because I had dust all over the screen and want some better visibility. So this is rocky. It's not, at least so far, not too bad. I've slid a couple times and had a chance of going down, but so far so good. I'm just going to keep this thing rolling for now. It'll be a little difficult for me to turn it off. I think a lot of the ride is going to be fairly docile, so it makes sense to just, since this is a little bit more exciting, to just let this ride. Picked a couple of lines that weren't the best, but I survived, so probably for another 5 minutes like that, but it appears we're maybe out of the roughest part of it, and I survived without going down, so we're going to be happy about that. This part, obviously there's still some rocks and whatnot, but not nearly as steep and rocky. We finished the expert section. It was really mostly that that rocky area that I videoed earlier. After that, it just got a little bit less rocky and a little bit less of an incline or decline. So what I videoed was the toughest part. I mean, it was a challenge for sure, but I think we all agreed that there were sections of the main trail in Washington that were tougher than that one, and that's supposedly the toughest thing on this section. There's going to be a couple other alternate sections ahead, but that supposedly was the toughest for today. Well, we've been on a pretty long, probably at least 25 miles on asphalt now. It's been pretty nondescript. We've gotten here to a little lake, and so I thought I'd throw this in. We'll see what comes up around the corner. Pretty tame intro to the Idaho BDR so far. That quote-unquote expert section was, again, it was tough. It was challenging, but everyone made it through unscathed and pretty much all together. So I'll keep filming up around this corner up here and maybe get a little bit better view of the lake. Okay, well, it's only been about 2 minutes since that last video clip, and we have exited the roadway. As you can see, this is hard packed dirt and gravel, so great traction here. Looks like we're getting ready to do another climb. We are again moving at a pretty good clip as compared to what we were doing in Washington. Still only 75 degrees in the shade. Pretty nice. Unfortunately, the GoPro locked up on the way up this mountain, but now you get to see what we're looking at. This is called Lunch Top Peak or something like that, and so you got a full 365. Oh, that's pretty cool. Obviously we're not going to go do that. Pretty rocky. They've got this fire lookout tower up here, and apparently you can rent this thing, spend the night here. I'm not 100% sure about that, but some of the guys are thinking that's the case. Anyway, I'd say this is the best view we've seen so far on this trip. Maybe the best one we get for the entire trip, because we're right at the peak of this mountain. There's the approach road. Hard to tell. There's a bunch of dirt roads down here. We may have been on some of those on the way up. We certainly were. I don't know if we came from there or if we're going that direction. You see a road off over there on the side of that mountain. Okay, we're leaving the top of this mountain. We were at 6,400 feet, so pretty far up. Hard to tell if some of these other mountains around us were higher. I assume some of them are, but I'm going to film for a second the descent. This isn't much. I mean, it's not very steep or difficult at all. I just wanted you to see kind of what the look is from the top. So we're actually backtracking part of what we did, because this is a one-way up kind of deal. It's just for purposes of getting to this the fire lookout station. Still pretty dusty. Let's just see, 74 degrees and about 11:15 in the morning, so obviously at this altitude it's not going to be nearly as hot as it has been. Spectacular views. I'll give you a quick look at the descent. You can see, well, there's a little scenic overlook. You can see it's pretty steep there. I mean, that's not a straight drop off, but it's pretty steep. Again, if your motorcycle goes off that, it's not coming back, or you wouldn't want it back. Okay. A little hard for me to tell on the GPS which way I was supposed to go there. Thankfully, Jason marked the corner. There's another alternate route. We just now got off of the main road, and it's pretty narrow and rocky. So this is probably another one of the quote-unquote expert routes. The reason I'm saying quote-unquote is because I'm no expert, and I was able to do it, so, or at least do the last one. So we'll see how this shakes out. It's rocky, but it's level. So we got off the bikes after we stopped back there. That wasn't a rest stop, it was a go see the falls stop. So this is the falls, apparently. So you see a little bit of waterfalls there. I'll try to stay along the edge here, see what we see. It's about a 30-foot drop, be my guess. There you get a little, you know, there's Chris either taking a picture or videoing back this way. Pretty spot. I think there may be another one over here, so we'll take a walk. Wow. Yeah. So that's 100 feet, be my guess. So I think when I get out here, I'm going to be able to take a look back and see. Oh yeah, you can see the beginning of it there. That's probably as good a view as we're going to get of it, but that's you know, again, I'm probably 100 feet above the ground, so it's a, you know, 80 foot waterfall, something like that. So stupid bug. Pretty place. Again, this rock ledge, I don't know if you can see, that's it's all of 100 feet plus a little bit more probably. I'm going to see if I can go down there and get a closer look. I assume you can see right through there the falls, and then this is the top of the bigger falls, and I'm right here at the edge, as you can see. Probably not the smartest thing to do with these big old clumpy boots on, but you can see now we're looking straight down the falls. Again, that's probably 80 feet would be my guess, and then you get a look at the rest of the stream. Nice place. This is a look at the falls. Well, you see Lance is down there in the water. I'm not exactly sure how he got down there, but I think it's cold. This is the falls a little bit further up. I'm going to hike up there a little bit further and see if I can get to a spot where you can see straight down. The middle of the stream, this is further up than that 80-foot falls. Pretty place, and you can see here that you got a little bit of a waterfall there, maybe, you know, 15 feet or something like that, and a pool. You know, you could probably, that's deep enough, I'm guessing you could jump in. I've still got my riding stuff on. I'm obviously not going to. I mean, I have found out already that these motorcycle boots are not hiking boots, so they're a little cloggy and clumpy and whatever. I don't know what the traction's like, but pretty place. I'm going to video us leaving here because it's well, this is a little bit of a rough thing, and this time we're climbing instead of falling or descending. I mean, this isn't that tough, but a little rocky. Okay, we're out. We've been riding down alongside this riverbed that you can see through the trees over there for probably 10 minutes or so. And again, as soon as I turn the GoPro on, we get away from it. But now there it is again. Got a little ATV here. Wow, that is dusty. Yeah, when we came down from the fire lookout station earlier, there was an ATV and some little, I think it was a Honda Trail 70, honestly. So there's been a little bit more traffic's the wrong word, but vehicles using these roads, maybe just because they're a little easier, I don't know. But just got off the trail. It was a long, fairly wide, light gravel road that was kind of nondescript. I showed you where we were going along that stream. We did that for another probably 10, 15 miles after I stopped the last segment. Anyway, we're back on paved road. I'm guessing that's that same stream down there that we've been riding along. I think this is going to be a relatively short day. It's 87 degrees, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I think section 1 is pretty tame. A couple of the falls and the fire overlook station were cool. And then the one expert rocky section, that was interesting and fun. The rest of it's mostly been just light gravel roads. We're spending the night is called Clark Fork. It was Clark Fork Junior and Senior High School, I guess. Stop and get a little gas. I don't even know that I need any.